Young coach, his team has played great down the stretch, and you can see that ball was right on the rim, and that was Trayvon Bryant that came up. Sitting right on it. Good call. Quinn Snyder's ball club, we've been impressed with how they've won games. It used to be where they had a lot of flash. They've kind of won ugly, which wasn't typical of Quinn's ball club, but his team came in here well prepared. They made a run last year in the NCAA tournament to the Elite Eight. He's a guy that keeps clapping for his kids. I mean, he appreciated the effort by Paulding right there, or Johnson.
19 minutes left in the championship. Can they climb a mountain this high? 37-18. Missouri down by 19. Bookout gets it in deep. Couldn't get it to go. And rebounded by Bryant.
And Bookout was scoreless in that first half. He has been a vital part of the offensive claw when they have played well the last month.
Quick ball movement. Paulding along the baseline. Puts up the runner. Not there. Gilbert with good position. Blocked out Arthur Johnson. Grabbed the rebound.
Ricky Paulding now 1 of 7 from the field. It's been a tough afternoon.
Bookout.
How many
assists to Alexander?
Yeah, how many plays have we seen Oklahoma penetrate to about the 7-foot mark, and the guards have the shot. Missouri comes up to help. Over the top, easy layup.
Down for the Sooners, that is 12 assists.
Impressive number.
Hollis Price is limping. Yeah, I told you they taped up that leg just below his knee. And he's not limping to the other end of the floor. He's limping to the bench.
Well, I didn't notice the limp when he started the half. So whether he...
But of all the things that you don't want to go wrong if you're an Oklahoma Sooner fan, you don't want that guy sitting on the bench or wearing his warm-ups watching the ball game. 3 different guys picked MVP in this league by different publications and outlets, and he was one of them. Collison, of course, from Kansas, and also T.J. Ford of Texas, picked by Sports Illustrated.
Yeah, pretty hard to choose. You throw Heinrich in the mix. You had 4 great players who had great seasons for their universities.
Well, and let's be really honest. Yesterday, Oklahoma, Missouri, in their win, when Heinrich had to go to the bench for 6 minutes and 38 seconds, changed the game. What was it, a 16-5 run, 17-5, something like that? But it certainly made just a huge difference. And that's a push on Gilbert. Foul number 3.
We'll take a look at Hollis Price putting on a brace, looks like around the ankle. Take a look as he's chased. Ooh, turned it right there.
Sure did.
Turned the right ankle right there. So they will put one of those ankle braces on, tape it up a little bit. He'll be back in there. It may limit his mobility a little bit, but he will still be on a dead sprint.
He'll still be quicker than most people on the floor, John. 9 turnovers against the Tigers. Ebiara looking inside to Bookout.
Sooners have really focused on trying to attack inside this second half.
White missing, Paulding with the foul, and White's going to go to the line for 3. John, talk about Bookout. You mentioned something yesterday I thought was really very interesting as Hollis gets ready to come back into the lineup. Bookout is a youngster that a lot of times it takes freshmen an entire season. Some of them don't get any better. You mentioned yesterday you think he has improved remarkably so over the course of this season.
We saw him early in the year, and he had tough matchups, played Alabama, played Mississippi State. But you know, when he continued to improve, and when you think about Bookout, his footwork is just so good inside. Now, this is one of the nation's best shot putters and discus throwers. And anytime, if you watch that sport go to a track and field meet, those guys have great footwork. And the first time Kelvin Sampson saw Bookout in a track meet, he said, my goodness, look at the footwork. And what they found with Kelvin Bookout is the fact that he can really seal inside. Now, he doesn't have exceptionally long arms. He doesn't have a great shot, but what he does is he seals so close to the basket. The little jump hooks, you take a look at 58% from the field. That's because of his ability to get good shots. His strong lower body is terrific.
Well, 2 of the 3, and it's a 21-point lead, Oklahoma. In low, Arthur Arthur Johnson. There comes the double team. Made the shot, but the foul was on the floor before the shot. Well, it is Selection Sunday, and ESPN is the place to be. 5 o'clock Eastern. The 2003 NCAA Women's Selection Show exclusively unveils the women's brackets. Then at 6 o'clock on SportsCenter, they'll release the men's brackets. 7 o'clock Eastern, get tips of filling out your bracket as ESPN brings you Bracketology 101, NCAA Men's Selection Special, presented by Staples.
And when the seedings come out, there will be some awfully happy teams, and then there'll also be some angry fans. This is a day when you'll see joy and jumping around in arenas and rooms, and then you'll see some anger on some teams and fans.
Well, this is Christmas in the basketball world for both the men and the women as book out.
Fortunate play for Jabari Brown. Lost control, fell right in the hands of teammate Bookout.
By the way, wanted to mention about Bookout. Today is his 20th birthday. Extra out of Stroud, Oklahoma.
He had a good matchup the other night against David Harrison, the sophomore from Colorado. The 7-footer is continually getting better as a player, but he and Bookout just challenge each other. AJ's still playing well.
Nice, smart move by AJ. Instead of allowing that double team to come back on them, this time he turned around instead of trying to shoot the hook and knock down the jumper.
Well, there's the improvement of Arthur Johnson. He can now turn and face and make jump shots.
Eddie Ara from deep in the corner. In and out, won't go. Hustling for the rebound. Clemens comes away with the carom. Got Johnson on the wing, and he's going to get it back to McKinney. Other side, three-pointer on the way. Paulding, not there. Two on three, goes back to Ara. And this one's going to be stolen.
Good hands by Clemens defensively.
4 turnovers against the Sooners.
Kelvin Sampson does not want his ball club to be sloppy. They were so good in the first half. He wants to take a game like this one and build on it.
Arthur Johnson, same tactic that time. Missed that jumper. John, let me ask you something about him. As Price puts up the 3.
Stop and fire. I was going to say, you better pick him up because he'll just simply stop and fire. It's almost like a layup for him.
Talk about Arthur a little bit. The fact he doesn't use the glass like most big men do. He likes to shoot at and into the ring.
Yeah, you know what? We knew last year the jump hook with the right hand was so deadly. And all of a sudden through the summertime, hard work, working with great coaching staff, Lane Odom, Marcus Perez, Tony Harvey, he developed a turn and face so that he could go to either shoulder, face the defender. This he likes to shoot it straight in because he's got a soft touch. He's got soft hands. Should have passed that one, though.
Trayvon Bryant hustle for the rebound, and Trayvon had his pocket pick. Bonus White took it away.
Boy, look at Jabari Brown run the floor.
Ara for 3. Not there. Jabari Brown tips it around. They play volleyball. Bryant comes away with it, and Bonus White hustles, and it was on the line.
Tiger big men are tired. You can see it. Jabari Brown just out-sprinted all of them down the floor.
So Hollis Price, and here's what John was talking about. Nobody picked him up. Sprint, pull up, and shoot. We'll be right back.
Update from the Big Ten. Obviously, Ohio State, tired legs, their 4th game in 4 days. And Illinois, very strong in the early going. Smith with that shot there. Cook has 7. Defending champs down 8. Back to Ron and John.
Okay, Chris, it is 46-24. The Oklahoma Sooners having their way here at the Phillips 66 Big 12 basketball tournament. That man looking for a 3-peat.
Impressive, huh?
Yeah, they have won back-to-back tournament championships and trying to make it 3 in a row.
Trip to the Final Four a year ago. They'd love to get back to New Orleans this season with Price and Quantus White, both who grew up there, high school teammates. That would be some kind of story.
Some kind of homecoming.
Oh, my.
McKinney with 4 points and knocked down that jumper just a moment ago. And Young and Price collided. And
Hollis has taken a few shots.
You know, it's a tough day at the office. Watch this. Here's Big Arthur. He's trying to screen. Now, look, Arthur tries to help him up, and then he says, get out of the way. I got to play defense. So he goes to the bench. They tape up his leg, and then he tweaks his knee, or his ankle, I should say. But it's still
But he's having fun. There's a smile on his face. There's a joy when he plays the game. It's been a treat, again, for us to watch. It's been fun to watch play the game.
He's picking on some guys a lot bigger than him, because that time Young, he weighs about 285, and he knocked him down quickly. Inside, Johnson tips it over to Young.
Ron, I've always felt it's fine to pick on guys that are big inside the lines here. You just don't get away from the arena and pick on bigger guys.
Clemens almost didn't draw iron on that. Kroenke tries to save it, does, but touch last by Oklahoma. It'll be Tiger ball. Josh Kroenke with a good hustle play there, trying to keep it inbounds. Clemens 1 of 8 in field goal attempts, 1 of 4 from outside the line. Interesting that the coaching staff of Missouri says, you know, Kroenke probably knows the offense better than any